and Manara. So, but before we go on, I'd like to make this clear. Now, the prop firm that I know and I trust, I mean, so far that I know so far, I think there are about three of them I would say that I trust, but the best out of them is the one that we're used to, which is MFF. So presently they're having legal issue. I think they're in court in the United States with some of the regulations. I don't know. So their server is not, I mean, it's down. So if their server is down, I mean, you can't be able to use your account. So temporarily until after the court issue, until after they're done with the legal issue. Okay. So I will not be able to recommend yet. So just give me like maybe a day or two, then I'll recommend based on the other ones. I mean, yeah, the other ones that I know are good, okay. MFF are kind of better than them. So, but still, at the end of the day, same goal we are looking at. So just to clarify that part. Now, for those who are already on MFF, I think you should not be bothered. I mean, you should not be like, I mean, your account is safe. That's what I'm trying to say. So I believe as soon as the trial is done or whatever it is they are doing is done in the court, of course they gave. I think the date was written in the notes that was sent. You understand? So I believe with that, you start from exactly where you stopped. Okay, so you don't have to go back into uh, starting all over. Okay, you'll not be starting all over. So, and for those of you already on a funded account, which means you're already getting paid already. Also, of course, you know better that everything will be on hold for the meantime till. So meaning you won't be able to trade with the account until everything is done. All right. That being said, so what are we doing tonight? Now, before let me just give you the background of the reason why we need this. Okay. I think we have gone beyond whether Manara works or not. I think we're by now, except for new people in the house. I mean, if you're new, you just joined us in the house, which I believe not much new people are here. I mean, for several people to be here. Now, do you guys see sometimes why um, we don't respond to some questions or some complaints on the group? Well, this is one of the reasons. I mean, look at a training will be called for the purpose of questions that people ask on the group. If you notice, like, so the reason why I actually put for this training, I had two people that um, already on the prop firm with Manara. So this week, I think about Monday, Tuesday, I think it was on Monday and Tuesday, yeah. So I kept getting complaints from these people, which some of my leaders as well contacted me that they are mentees, some of them, and the fact they was giving complaints that, oh, that's all the ideas they entered for Manara, they're always in loss for this week. I mean, this Monday, especially Monday and Tuesday. And for me, I don't believe that, I mean, I would never believe. No one can tell me and I'll believe that, because I always say one thing: if you're using the settings that I use, you're following everything I say on the videos. I mean, there's no way you'll be ending the day with loss or losses if you are using Manara. And some of you can see that some people that already follow everything, you see them every day, they post results, they post profits every day on Manara. Right. It's a matter of following instructions. So I think I was able to now. There were two people complaining, but one was polite, very, very polite. In fact, I like his arrangement. I like the way he does his things. I mean, it's a well planned. He plans things very well. Okay, I hope he's on this call because it was him that prompted the idea that I think maybe a lot of people might be facing this, and then we need to do this tonight, right? So the other one wasn't that polite, but at least this is for people who are having issues like that. So at the end of the day, when I did a Zoom meeting with this person one on one, based on his own account, based on the trade he took, he was able to see at the end of the day that there were some things that he kind of missed out from his trading pattern using Manara. And at the end of the day, after fixing out those things, he realized that we both saw it. At the end of the day, that it could have ended up with 89 pips the Monday on Monday, 50 something, 51 pips in profit the second day, which could have thrown his account to almost like getting to level of qualification, the first level qualification. I mean, just 2 days alone gave almost like 75% of what 50 to 75, yeah, 75% of his target for the week. If you had seen those things that he omitted. So the reason why we're doing this tonight is number one, to help go over things you should look out for to make you profitable on Manara, and also to see why we need a prop firm account. Why do we need prop firm account? I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You know, there's a way you can have an opportunity with you. You can have a very beautiful, good opportunity with you, yet waste them. Do you guys believe that, right? Do you know that you can have a beautiful opportunity, yet you waste them? Now, let me give you an instance. I'll share my screen. Permission to do that. I'll share my screen. And I would have loved someone to share the screen, but that would take time. So let me share my screen, and I'll put on my calculator. Now, if a trade is giving, okay, let's use for example, let's today on gold. Now, I don't want to use gold because that was a signal. That was my signal. I want to use Manara. But let's just assume, let's just use gold for example, okay? Assume at least Manara gave good signals too, gives gold signal, right? So let's say there's a trade idea, and this trade gives 100 pips. Okay, 100 pips. Now, if you are using $100, the maximum, what's it called? The maximum risk you put in, maximum that I would say, I mean, that you can put in that you are so bold, will be 0.01 in 4 places. So let's say 0.4. Or some do 0.06. Some people do more than that. I mean, they are willing to let go of the $100, and most times it helps them. It goes in their favor in a way that without $100 over leveraging on it, they may even double the money that day. But that's not advisable. If you really love them, if that's the only money you have, you don't do that. But you can do that if you have plenty of it. So I say, okay, 0.04. So when you are using $100 account or $200 account, the truth is the risk management thing may not work for you, because by the time you calculate 3% of $100 in lot size, there's no lot size that will give you that kind of thing. You'll be seeing 0.00, maybe 8 or 5, and there's nothing like double zero after decimal when it comes to lot size. The only one that is there that we have, the minimum that we have, is 10 after the decimal, then a number. So that's why for $100, we just give you a fixed thing that you can just do maximum to 0.04. Now, when it comes to lot size, I want you to understand something. Whatever lot size you are using, okay, translating it to currency in a straightforward manner is just as good as just multiplying it by 10. Whatever you see is the amount that each pip is worth for you. So what am I saying in essence? So if you are using 0.04, okay, 0.04 on your trade, and I said that a trade idea gives, let's say a trade idea is going to give you like 100 pips. Let's say after we traded and everything, we have 100 pips as profit for everybody. Now, if you multiply your lot size by 10, it gives you 0.4, which means 40 cents per pip for you. So that means you'll be making around $40 on that kind of trade, assuming for 100 pips. But these 100 pips, for someone who has between 500 to $1,000, now for that kind of account, aggregate, let's just put it averagely, at least you are allowed to do 0.1 for 500, let's say 0.2 maximum for 500. But if it's 1,000, you're allowed to do at least 0.3, something like that. Well, if you want to over leverage, I mean, you really have the mind, you can do 0.5, but that would be, yeah, I mean, that's like $5, because whatever you choose, remember, you multiply by 10, right? So if you're doing 0.5, or let's say 0. Okay, we're saying 500. Let's use $500 now. Let's say you're doing 0.1
or 0.2 for $500. Now look at it. When you do 0.2 for $500, okay, what does that mean in currency per pip? It means you multiply by 10 as usual. What does that mean? That means for every pip is $2. So if the trader there gives $100, sorry, 100 pips, you multiply by these two. So your 500, you have $200, right? On the same 100 pips, someone had 40, the other person has 200. Now, someone with $1,000, maybe he's doing like 0.4. Same way, $4 multiplied by what? 100 pips, $400. The same thing someone is taking $200 for, someone is taking $400 for, someone is taking, you get my point, right? $40 for, you know? And imagine somebody using $10,000. Right. Now, this person can use maybe $10,000 can use at least 2 lot size. Am I right? $20 per pips. 100 pips would be, that would be too much. That would be too, okay, yeah, 100 pips would be, okay, yeah. So that's right. So now someone with $10,000, let's say, is using like 2 lot size maximum. Okay, as usual, you multiply by 10, that is $20 per pip. Multiply by the same 100, this person is making $2,000. Now, if you look at it, we have $2,000, we have $400, we have $200, we have 40 on the same trade. That is how life is, anyways. I mean, according you cut your codes according to your size. That's how they say it, right? Well, even if I that now, so you look at it, these are different for the same idea. Now, in order to maximize for this $40, $200, $400, $2,000 person to maximize, do you get my point? We now say that what if, guys, what if I want to let me just do a mind thing for you. What if you have a 300K account? No, don't let me blow your mind too much. I want somebody to sleep well tonight. But let me say 100K account. And you take a trade. You understand? The same trade. So using that same way, the methodology we used from the beginning. Okay. Now we said for 10,000, use 2 lot size. So for 100,000, what are you going to use? You're going to use 20 lot size, right? I mean, for a real account, 100,000. So you're going to use 20 lot size, right? So if you use 20 lot size, multiply it by 100, sorry, by 10. Remember the formula. That would be 200. Multiply it by 100 pips. That means you'll be making $20,000. Now, on that same trade. Now, the question is it easy to come by this $100,000? No, of course. But what if there's a way out of your $1,000? Okay? There's a way out of your $1,000 or out of the profit you make from your 2,000, what do you call, yeah, was it $2,000? Okay. The $1,000 person, 20 pips, two pips, 2 lot size, $20 times 100. Was that what we got that? Yes. Okay, from your $2,000, what if you have an opportunity to bring $500 out of it to buy an account? You understand? To buy an account of $100,000, using $500 to buy $100,000 accounts, which means your $500 you can buy an refundable $500 account. Sorry, $500. You buy a $100,000 account with $500 that is refundable, but on conditions. Now let me tell you. So which means even if you have $1,000, for example, and then you buy $500 worth of account, okay, for 100, so meaning you'll be left with $500. Now, for me, I always advise that whenever you are doing a prop firm account, it is advisable you have a live account. As a matter of fact, you should start with live account first. It is wrong for you to start and then you don't have any accounts, you're starting straight away from prop firm accounts. I mean, for me, I don't think it's okay. The emotion will be it won't fit in. You make mistake, you lose money and all the stuff. I mean, you're losing money is not a bad thing. It's part of the process. I mean, it will even work out. Anytime you're trading, it's always good to have a live account that you can withdraw every day, at least that you can look at and you'll be motivated. Either way, you withdraw it every day or you're compounding it. That would be your choice. But you always have 2 accounts. You have a prop and a live. Now the prop firm now. So let's say you have 1,000 and you divide into two. You have a prop firm 500. You have a $500 for your account. For example, if you are aiming big, you are type that you aim big. You want to start from 100K, right? Account. So what happens now is this: whenever a trade idea is sent, as you are taking, remember I told you that on $500 account you are taking like 0. I think your lot size I said 0.2. I can't remember. Was that what I used? 0.2. I think. Let me check if the history is still here. For the 500, yeah, 0.2. That means $2. Yes, I think so. So 0.2. So and I said 10 multiplied by 100. Now on your $500 account, you'll be making $200. Turning your account to $700, assuming. Now on your $100,000 account, this time around, because it's a prop firm, now you'll be using that 20 lot size. I'm just saying, right? So on your $100,000 account, you take a trade on it also. You understand? At least you'll be making minimum of maybe like $3,000, $2,000 or so from this one. Okay. Now the point I'm trying to make here is this: when you have this prop firm account. So what is a prop firm? For those of you who are new, I mean, I should not assume that you were part of the last training I did. So a prop firm, the meaning of prop is actually propriety. Okay, propriety. So the propriety firm, what they do is they give funds to forex traders. Because let me tell you the truth: if you don't have fund, forex trading may not be fun for you. I mean, it's an investment. It's actually something you do with small money, something you put in big money to do for you to really realize good results and a secured account. If you want to secure your account, the bigger your money, so long you are using your the risk management plan. Okay, you're on the risk management plan. The bigger your money, the more secured your account. The lesser your money, the less secure your account. The bigger your money, the more money you make in little time, in less time. Do you get the point? So it's an investment. It's not a small thing, guys. This is a $7.1 trillion market, daily market, $7.1 trillion. I mean, we're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars. I mean, after you finish billions, you are going to trillion a day. Now, you see that meaning there are people who are bringing a lot of money into that market, right? Now, for you to get in and out faster and make a lot of money in little time, you need big money. So because you need that big money now, you need to partner with prop firm, because if you don't have the money yourself, so you partner with a prop firm. Now, what prop firm do is this: they give you these funds, you trade, you split the profit with them. But there are conditions to give you the fund. Do you get those conditions to give you the fund? So the one that I am familiar with is the MFF, like I said. Now, for example, let me just use them as an example. For example, if you're given if you with the $500, you can get a $100,000 account from MFF. Now look at what happens. The condition $100,000. They have to put it to test, because of course they have to be sure you're a trader, so you don't waste their money, because it's their money. By the time they give you that, I mean, if you lose that money, the money any money you lose from that money, you're not going to refund it. Okay, so they have to be careful. They don't want to give the money to anyone, so they want to test if truly you know how to trade. And we all know that in economy, you don't really know how to trade with Manara. Just know how to copy the trade from Manara to your broker, and then you make money. So using Manara, leveraging on Manara now. Manara is making you like a professional. Manara is like an employee to you, who does the whole thing for you. But to them, doesn't matter. So long the result is here. I mean, how you get it. So the point now is, um, so with them, they will put you through a test. You go through a test, right? Now, these tests are in phases: phase one, phase two. Now, so what they do is this: let's say you give them $500. Now, they will tell you that you have signed a deal with them to have a $100,000 account. But the conditions are: number one, you'll be given a demo account. Of course, for those of you who are new, a demo account is an account that is like a dummy, which you can trade with to practice. Okay, so it's not actually, you're not really actually losing money or making money. It's just to let you see what happens, simulation. Okay, so now they give you a dummy account, or 100K dummy account, and they will tell you that, okay, for us to know that you are truly good at what you do, okay, these accounts that you have paid for, we are giving you the dummy account of it, just a dummy. Okay, trade with this one. If you can raise this one up by 8% within 30 days, you have passed our phase one test. So they want you to trade this 100K and raise it up by 8%. What is 8% of 100,000? Of course, we all know that is $8,000, right? That's $8,000. Yeah.
So if you're looking at 8%, so you just do this. That's $8,000. You see it now. So that's $8,000 now. So which means they expect you to take this money from 100,000 to minimum of 108,000. Now you can take it more than that. You can take it more than that. But their own is make sure you meet up this target before the end of 30 days. Okay. And minimum, that's the first condition on that phase one. Push it up by 8%. Second condition is at least you will trade this account for minimum of 5 days. Do you know why they say that? They don't want you to be a lucky, just like some people they are gamblers. And someone can just get the account now and go see a trade, a particular trade in one day and over leverage. And luckily for him, he makes his 8,000 in a day. And he said, I'm qualified. They need to be sure that you're qualified. So they want to see you do it, trade for like 5 days minimum to see your consistency that, okay, if you're a gambler cannot just win trades for 5 days like that. At least you have to, they want to see your pattern, your trading pattern. So today maybe you make 10%, 1% tomorrow, 2%, like that. But at least just do it for minimum of 5 days. But you have the opportunity to trade for 30 days to meet up this target. That's the first rule, the second rule. So the first rule, remember, you take it up by 8,000. Second rule is you must trade for minimum of 5 days. Now the third rule is while trading, now this is to check your risk management level. You should not be in drawdown. What is a drawdown? Drawdown is when you enter a trade. Okay. For some of us, like when we entered gold trade today, you see the gold at first. Look at what happened to us with the news. So the gold was going in red. At first, it was going in profit. So much, at least we all saw it was in profit. About 20, 25 pips, 30 pips profit went down. And then some of us took their profit already. Some of us were waiting for it to eat TP, which is not a bad thing. But at least, sometimes, you got to do what you have to do, right? So now, what happens after that? Started going the other way, which is against us. And they started seeing red. Now, this red, their condition is the total red, whether you lose or it's just in red, meaning you have not even lost yet. It could come back to blue, which is profit. It could go to red and come back to blue. But the rule is with the red though, with the red is the drawdown. With the loss in a day, you must not lose or be in red for up to 5% of the total account. So what does that mean? That means no matter what you do, make sure you don't lose up to, meaning you must not lose up to $5,000 on this account in a day. You can lose up to 1,000, you can lose 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. The moment it's 5,000, you lose that account. Now, this is to try to make sure that they discipline your risk management taste. So whatever you want to do, you want to be very conservative in a way that you will not, even if you are losing, you won't lose up to even half of this. Not to talk of you losing accounts, right? So look at the three conditions. Number one, push it up by 8% within 30 days. Number two, make sure you trade for minimum of 5 days. In case you're a fast trader, you make this money in time. Instead of 30 days, maybe you're able to do it in 1 day or 2 days. You have to continue trading till like 5 days, then you qualify. And three, during those times you're trading, you cannot be in deficit or total loss of up to 5% per day. And the last one is overall within those 30 days. So let's say today now you didn't eat 5% loss. Maybe you eat like 2% loss. Tomorrow you hit like 2% loss, like every day like that. The moment your loss is up to 12% in overall, which means within that 30 days, which means they are talking about 12% now. It means you must not lose up to. Can that happen to me? All right. So. Oh my God. Now, what I always expect is when we are trading, when I'm trading like this, you should have your pen and paper as well. It's always good to jot, because I noticed that most of you miss some points I gave, because like you see someone coming to me either losing in a trade because they didn't follow exactly what I said in the video. Even after watching the video, they don't still do it. So some things that are very important, like you jot them down, so you don't miss out. That's how I do things anyways. All right. So as I was saying, guys, so in overall for that 30 days, your total loss put together must not be up to 12,000. If not, you still lose the account. So what does that mean? That means as soon as you're trading this 100,000 account and you lose up to 12,000, your account gets to 88,000, you lose that account again. So these are the 4 rules now. Number one, push the account by 8%. Number two, make sure during the time you're trying to push it for 8%. Okay, sorry, trade for minimum of 5 days. But you have 30 days to trade actually, but minimum of 5 days. So between 5 to 30 days, which is enough time for you to be disciplined. I mean, you can be doing small, like take just little every day. If you don't want to risk too much, you have enough time. But if I mean something you can do in 5 days, do it, but make sure you do it with caution. That's number three, which is you should not lose 5% in a day. And number four, which is the last one, in overall, you should not lose up to 12%. Now that is that about MFF. I'm giving an example for you. Now, between you and I, let's say you now have this 100K account. How will you do it in a way that you avoid this kind of loopholes so you have this issue? So I came up with a suggestion in the team for a long time. We've been using this. I said that so if you have an account from MFF, don't just see it. If you have $100,000 account, for example, don't see it like 100,000. Just see it like a 10,000. So in other words, instead of trading the normal 1 to 3%, usually we advise 3%. I mean, yeah, that's what you can do for normal accounts. But for MFF, you do at least 1%. If you are trading, always use 1%. Do you get? So instead of exposing 3% of your account, you can expose 1% for every trade. Now, what does that mean? Let me quickly show you. So we still use the same $100 pips, right? We use the same 100 pips. Now, for those who are new, what is pips? Pips are just a unit of measurement, okay, of movement in prices. Now, because we are using different currencies, we are using gold. We are using, like, for example, using gold versus USD. Now, gold versus USD simply means how much is a ounce of gold worth in USD. 1 ounce of gold, how much is it worth in USD? So if you see gold is 1940, that means 1 ounce of gold is $1,940 presently. Now, if the gold now moved down to 19, let's say move down to 1929 or 1926, that means the price of gold, the worth of gold in USD has dropped to 1,926 or $29 per ounce. Now, that movement between that 1940, was that what I said? Okay, yeah, that was what I said, right? 1940 to 1920, 29, 26. So if you look at that 40 to 26, that's like 26, that's like 17, right? 17, yeah. My math, what's wrong with it? Yeah, it's good. Right, 17, right? 26. Yeah, 17. That is 17, right? Now that movement is called pips. The number of those movements are recorded in pips. The number between the movement between the 1940 to this is recorded in pips. So that's where we get pips from. So when I say pips, like let's say you trade now and you profit, your profit is about 100 pips, which means the trade idea, the price between whether you choose buy or sell, gave you 100 pips as profit. So to put that profit in currency is what is now left for you to calculate. Okay. So I want to use something now. So let's do something now. Let's say you have $100,000 account. Okay. You have $100,000 account. We're already in our training. Remember Manara and that prop firm. So I'm breaking down prop firm for you and how you can use Manara to leverage. I mean, this world we are now, we talk about leverage. I mean, you want to be rich as soon as possible with $99 or you pay or how much you pay, you understand? $150 that you pay, So, I mean, to do this, if Manara can give all the trade ideas, I mean, Manara wins every now and then. And I've asked one, I've always said this before. If you check the past trades, you cannot, I mean, I challenge you to bring me one trade, one day that Manara ends the day with loss. And when I say one day, how you calculate that is you check all the trades Manara have done for the day. You check the ones that that went in loss, the one that goes probably in profit, and then you check the aggregate, which means do the plus and minus. Which one is, are you profitable or not? You can hardly see anyone. I've never seen, I've checked, I've done this several times, monthly. I've done like weekly, we did weekly, and we're going to do it today. Today is Friday, right? We'll do weekly today, tonight, right now, after this. I mean, to show you again, to give you more confidence, okay? And also, I'll point out some ways to avoid, to minimize your losses and increase your profit. In fact, as a matter of fact, how to trust Manara so much, because if you trust Manara, you do whatever it is Manara gives to you based on the settings that I recommend. I mean, if it's out of the settings I recommend, I may not be able to guarantee that. That doesn't mean that those settings are not good, but I'm not used to them. I'm only telling you, one thing about trading is analytical in nature. It's something that is analytical. It's something that works with data. You get, so data means, I mean, something that you must have seen, practice, test. You must have tested it several times, used it. So you now check number of times you get the result, same result over and over again. That becomes what's it called? That becomes your strategy. Do you get my point? So personally, the settings that I use or that I recommend are based on the settings that I've made research on and I've back tested. Backtesting means you go over all the past trade ideas using that same setting and see if it works out or not. So now, let's go back to what I want to show you guys. So let's say I want to show you how I mean when I say when you are trading with prop firm account, let's say they give you $100,000 account, instead of doing 3%, you do 1%. Now I want to use that based on what I started with. That imagine about 4 people are taking the same trade with $200, with $100, $500, $1,000, $10,000, and I show you all the result that the ones with 10,000 is making so much, the one with this is making more than the other person. But now we're not saying that for you to be able to get to that level, you can make so much with the same trade that you need the support of the prop firm. I'm just trying to recap again, especially for those who came in maybe a bit later. All right, let's look at it. So now, assuming you have the 100K account, okay? So the 100K account, I'll use gold because it's easy. I mean, just easy like that. So gold. Now the risk ratio, that's for those who don't know how to use this calculator. I've done these videos. I mean, you can watch it and all that. So it's easy. I won't take our time tonight explaining this again. Okay? But if you deserve the explanation, you can ask me before we finish this during the quick Q&A. I'll go back to it. All right. So let's say you have a 100K account. I would advise you use 1%. Some people use 0.5, but let's just stick with 1%. Okay. Now, if the stop loss in pips of this particular trade, assuming, of course, gold, and you are using Manara, Manara always give you a very tight stop loss, right? I wish this person will stop talking or just mute. Okay, don't worry, I know what to do. Actually, I could do the settings the way that when I mute you, you won't be able to unmute yourself. But I don't want to do that because sometimes you want to ask questions. And I won't want your hair. So that's why. So please. So, all right. Let me get back to it. Now, let's say it's 25 pips. That means you put a zero to that. I mean, that means 250. Now, what does that mean? So the system is saying that if you are willing to use 1% of your account for this trade, that means you're using $1,000 from your $100,000. You are investing, you are risking amount at risk, as you can see. You are willing to lose. That's the meaning of risk. You are willing to lose. I'm willing to lose this amount. Willing does not mean that you intend to lose. But in case of loss, this amount will not bother me. That is what it means, okay? So $1,000 is what you are risking on this trade. Okay, so that's the position size, but that's not what you need. What you need is focus on is standard lot size. This is standard lot. You use only standard lots. Do you get standard lot? Says you use 4 lot size. Guys, can you see that? Beautiful 4 sweet lot size. I'll tell you what this means. Just imagine this trade giving you 100 pips. Okay, imagine this trade giving you 100 pips profits, like I said from the beginning, but the stop loss is 25 pips. You'll be using 4 lot size. What does that mean? That means for every, that means your 4 lot size now, for every value, let's go there. Let's calculate what that means. So if you have 4 lot size, remember we did it before, 4 lot size, I said you multiply by 10, isn't it? That means $40 per pips. Multiplying it by 100, that means you'll be making $4,000 on that trade. Now, so which means if you had 100,000, you'll be making $4,000 on that trade because you're using 1%. But if it's not do you know why you're using 1%? Because of those rules. You don't want to trade in a way that you will meet. I mean that you'll be disqualified. Your account you'll be terminated. You remember I said when you're using a 100K account, they said 5%. You must not lose up to 5% in a day. So if you enter this trade, if you're going to be losing, highest you lose is 1,000, which is not up to 5%, it's 1%. And if I were you, I may give myself a total 2% in a day. So if I lose up to 2%, I stop trading for the day. Then I go to the next day. But let's say, so remember I said in winning. So in winning, you would have made 4,000 on this. And remember, if you make 4,000 on a particular trade, you get, and your target is 8,000. I mean, and you have minimum of 5 days. And this is just a day trade, right? Do you get my point? Even if all you make in a day is 100 pips, that's 4,000 per day. In 2 days, you can even meet up, but you have to trade for 5 days. Even if all you get in a day is 50 pips, guys, I want you to pay attention, right? Even if all you made in a day is profits, is 50 pips, maybe plus, maybe after minusing the losses, you have 50 pips. You're still in check. I mean, with that, you still have $2,000. And remember, if your target is $8,000 and you make $2,000 in a day, just 4 days you meet up your target. For example, even if it's just 30 pips, 30 pips. That means 6,000. Sorry, that means 30 pips will be multiplied by 4, right? 40. That is 1,200. Do you get my point? 1,200. 1,200. So what do? Your target is 8,000. If you make 1,200 in a day, that is 6 days, which means the first week and Monday of the coming week after that, you meet up your target for MFF without having to terminate your account. I mean, that is how we work with prop firm. And most of the other prop firm too are similar in the same rules and regulations, right, guys? But what is our plan? I want you to calm down and follow me. I mean, just make sure you follow me easily. Let me even see. I may be wrong to be assuming. I mean, if you can hear me, can you just let me see? Put a one in the chat box if you can hear me all the while. I mean, I've been talking. I didn't even check on that. If you can hear me, please put a one in the chat. If you can hear me, put a one in the chat. All right, good, good. Oh, someone said no sound, but I think others can hear me, right? See, they all have 111. So check maybe from your end. Sorry. All right, guys. Why am I saying this? What is our plan? What is our end game here? The end game is I told you about the first phase. Okay, so if you do this and you have a 100K account, forgive me, I mean, they have different type of accounts. I'm just using 100K as an example. They have even the smallest account is 5,000. $5,000 you buy for, I think that one is less than $50. You buy for like 40 something dollars or so. Then they have 10,000 accounts, $10,000 account, which is for $84, like that, like that, like that. I mean, they have different type. I'm just using this as an example. So don't don't be like, oh, it's too much. I'm just saying, okay. Now, what is the goal here? The goal is you want to meet up the challenge. So what's the challenge now? So let's say you do this and you meet up 8,000, you go for the first phase. The second phase is same rule. The same rules apply. Just the only difference there is that is 5%. You have to take, I mean, they'll give you another 100K account, phase 2. This time around, you have to take it up to 5%. So which means 5%, as we all know, that means you have to take it up to 5%. 5% is 5,000. 5% of 100,000 is 5,000. So then the first one, 8%. That means you have to take it up to 108,000. Second one is 5%. You have to take it up to 105,000. Second phase. Now, so knowing that this is your target, second phase, 5,000. What do you do again? You do the same thing using your 1%, right? Guys, I want you to know something. I'm going to link something here with the tips I'll be giving in Manara later on. And in case I forget, one of you should remind me. I mean, what do I want to link? I'd like to link in like when I start in Manara, one of the tips I'll be teaching is how to take profit, to secure profit. Some of us, we see profit, we look at it until we lose it again. I mean, how to do that, and then what level you should start doing that. Okay, I'll link it up to this later. So as I was saying, so 5% is what you need to push it up to this time around. So in this one, even if you are earning, if you are making what's it called, 1,000 a day in 5 days, you do this, right? On using the $100,000, whatever, and all that. With Manara, this is better, and I'll tell you why it's better with Manara. Because Manara, like I always said, and I've always been saying, the stop loss is small. It's always giving the lowest stop loss ever for a trade, and the lower your stop loss, the same. The amount you intend to use stays the same, but the lot size to get more increases. So what does that mean? That means if you are so even when Manara gives 10 trades in a day, for example, even if 7 trades are in loss, only 3 are in win. Those 3 will outrun the 7 because the profit is always bigger than the losses. Okay. Now, as I was saying, so let me see. Am I still sharing? What happened? Oh my God. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? I think the network pushed me up for a while. Can you hear
Yes, I
me?
can
Can you
hear
still hear
you.
me?
I can hear you.
All right, good, good. Okay, so what's our goal here, guys? Our goal is to be very rich with Manara, but with patience, right? Now, if you face challenge, okay, now when you meet up that you qualify for the second phase, what happens? The good thing that happens is this: number one, they'll pay you some percentage of the profits you made for the first phase, the 8%. They pay you some percentage. Then second phase, they won't pay you on that one yet. You know it's a demo, right? But they'll still reward you on those ones. Now, after you pass the second stage, they will now ask for your documents. You know, I mean, when I say documents, not like collateral, no, 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 just like your means of ID. That's all. On the proof of residency, your utility bill, whatever. You know, mostly preferable. The bank statement carrying your address, just to confirm your address. That's all. After you've done that, they will give you the contract you signed. They now give you a real fund of $100,000. Now, when I say give you, it will be monitored. They will be in control of the money. I mean, so you you go and withdraw. I mean, that's the capital to trade from. So they give you the 100K, the real account, and you start trading for 30 days. Now, guys, imagine, just put it in your mind. Let's picture it using the same way, conservatively. Okay, if you could meet up 8%, 5% in 1 week, in 5 days trading, right? Okay, so let's say using that same energy, same way, okay, to trade in 30 days, which means 4 weeks. I mean, assuming you're able to make $88,000, right, in a week. So in 4 weeks, let's say in 4 weeks, that'll be 32,000, right, on a 100K. Even let's say let's say even 5K, you're able to make per week. That means 20K now, right? Now, the good thing is this $20,000 at the end of 30 days on the real fund, the company will pay you minimum of 75% while they take the 5%. Sorry, they take 25%, you take 75%. Now, what does that mean? That means this $15,000 will be sent to your own wallet. I mean, you give them your account now. They'll send this amount to you. That becomes your own money. Not just that, plus they'll pay you, they will refund the money used in buying the Profem account. Remember, I told you it's a refundable money or something like that. It's refundable, right? So they'll give you your $500 back, which you used to buy the $100,000 account. Plus, they will give you 4% of the $5,000 on the second phase demo, which whatever that is, they'll add it to this. And these are the ones they will do. Okay. Now, what happens after that? What happens after that, guys? Look at the big picture now. What happens after that? After that 30 days, the money still remains in that account for you to trade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, this is disrespectful. I don't like it at all. It means whoever.
I don't know if for you. That place is for you.
Oh my God, they are not
I
taking
am
this
scared
training
here.
serious. See, for me, let me tell you one thing. For me, I don't it gets to a point I don't care anymore. I mean, this is forex trading, right? What I'm doing now, I'm doing this because you are in my team, and it's my job to guide you and make sure you make money. But that's your money. So if I'm trying to make sure you make money and you are not making that money and you're losing it, I mean that's not my problem. I'm trying my best, right? Because when we do a training like this, I mean, if people watch series like seasonal movies, they are very attentive. Some don't even like people talking around them, so they won't miss a point. But I'm surprised sometimes if you're on a Zoom call and the person using, I mean, you logged into a Zoom call, yet you have the time to talk and chat and all that. It means you're not really paying attention. That's where I see it. And if you're not paying attention, you miss a lot of points. And when you miss a lot of points during the real thing, you start complaining, oh, I'm losing money. I don't know, I'm losing money. You will keep losing money. It's your money. Suppose, I mean, hard earned money, supposedly. So for me, this is how I think. If I put my hard, like the money that is important to me, in a project, I don't joke. I don't even blink. I'm monitoring the money like a witch or wizard. I'm as in bumper to bumper. That even the owner of the company there will be asking, now only you carry money. Are you the only one? I mean, I will be monitoring. I won't sleep. I won't blink. I don't do things that are not important to me because life is too short to waste time on anything you don't really have interest in. So always be there while you are there. Always be here while you are here. That's the way I think. So all these we doing training, someone putting the mic off, chatting away, it gives me some, I'm human too. Sometimes I get pissed off because I'm spending my time. Let me tell you, because the truth is, with or without me doing this, I make profit every day. I can show you my account from trading. I mean, I already know this stuff. So that's why I'm trying to make sure that I duplicate the result that I have with every other person so we can move as a team. That was our promise to you. But how can we deliver our promise if you are not holding up your hand, your end? So please, let's respect ourselves. It is reciprocal. For me to be creating all the time tonight, I could be doing other things. I love to watch movies, but I'm giving you the time. Please respect me by focusing, ask questions, be there, be attentive, give me your attention. I'll return it after the event. Thank you. Right. I mean, I forgot what I was saying, for God's sake. So, as I was saying, I think I was okay. I was saying, so what happens after the first payment? Subsequently, you'll now be paid to 2 weeks, not monthly anymore. So, which means they will now be calculated the same 100K. When you trade the last time, the 20K will be split between you and the company, right? So, the money goes back to 100K. Okay. Now, so when it goes back to 100K, you start again, but this time around, it's going to be calculated to 2 weeks, which means every trade you do at the end of 2 weeks, whatever profit that is there will be split again, will be splitted again. But the good thing is the second split will be, if it was MFF, another two, they do the same. The second split is always higher than the first one. The second split will be 80%. So assuming using the same range, let's say you trade 5K per week. So meaning if you're going to be paid the next one in 2 weeks' time, you'll be earning like 10K, right? This time around, it will be 75%, it will be 80%. You'll be paid 80% while they take 20%. Then the 2 weeks after that, the next 2 weeks after that, it will go to 85%. And onward, it will be 85%, they take 15%. Because they now see that you are consistent. And the good thing about that is the moment you do that first time, second time, third time, you can do what they call scale up, which you apply for a scale up. They can help you scale the money from 100K to a bigger amount. Some people are already doing $1 million. I mean, there's a guy in our team. I mean, not my own team, but the general team. His name is Carter. They call him Coach Carter. I think he's based in the UK. This guy has gone, I think he's about 1 million plus now. I mean, so you see, so imagine if you have a trading account of $1 million. I don't want to put your mind to that one. I mean, you don't even have to wait for TP anymore. Just come into trade with 10 pips, you are rich already. I mean, let's just do the calculation. Let's just imagine. No, I'd like to take people through because this is how I think. I think big, too much. I mean, like so big, and that's my motivation. So when I'm feeling down, when I'm losing, I'll look at the bigger picture again. I'll be happy. Looking, see, they call it seeing the end in mind. Well, no, that's not the right way to put it. Putting the end in mind. No, starting with the end in mind. Sorry, that's it. Starting with the end in mind. Starting with the end in mind. I mean, you don't see the little hurdles that you'll be facing now, just looking at what is possible in this journey. So imagine like that guy, imagine you're like Kata, because I knew when he started this. I mean, when we joined this academy, that was so last year, December was when he started this program, his own personal prop firm account thing. I mean, this guy is already $1 million, doing $1 million. Do you know what that means? If you have $1 million account, that means using the same idea that we're using. I mean, $1 million. I'm not talking of evaluation account, a real funded account, his own money that he has withdrawn so far, that he has made so far. Do you get that he has made? So, oh, sorry, I said made. The prop firm accounts, forgive me, prop firm accounts. Okay. So which means is, I mean, the funded account or not the evaluation account, which means if he's using 1%, 1% of this is 0.01, right? Sorry, 0.1. Yeah, that is $10,000. Do you know what that means? Imagine $10,000 here. Do you know how many lot size? Imagine instead of $1,000, $10,000. Just let's put it this way. Let me make it easy. This is $1 million. 1% of this will be what? The result will come up now. $10,000. Do you know what lot size you'll be using? 40. So every time you use 4, is using 40. Do you know what that means? 40 means $400 per pip. Sorry, times 10. Multiply that by 100 pips, meaning it makes $40,000 every time you make $4,000. Every time somebody else is making $200. I mean, so imagine making $40,000, okay, on 100 pips, or we do 50 pips. Like I said, 50 pips per day, right? $10,000. Multiply it times 5 days, $100,000 in a week. Multiply it times 2 weeks because he has gone beyond 1 month. It's now to 2 weeks. They pay him. That is $200,000. Paying him 85%. This guy makes $170,000 every 2 weeks. Now tell me, how long do you think it take this guy to have his own personal account, not even problem account, $1 million? $1.7 million. I mean, if you're going to do 10 trading days, and I can show you these guys, if you see their lifestyle, I mean, they can just sleep now, wake up and think that, hey, family, we're going to Greece, let's go for vacation. I mean, if I'm like this, I don't work, I won't be trading for 1 year. I'll be trading only for 6 months of the year. The remaining 6 months of the year, I will spend money. Charity, travel, spend money. I won't trade, you see, I won't be trading every time. I will only trade for 6 months of the year. And that 6 months of the year, I only trade maybe 2 hours a day. And that 2 hours a day, I may not even be trading on Fridays and Mondays where the market is always doing anyhow. I'm only be trading Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. I mean, you have enough time, like a ritualist, in a positive sense, anyways. So, I mean, look at the bigger picture. So, whatever it is, now the next question now is, we are now seeing in numbers by figure that profit is a good deal using with Manara. Now, the question in your mind now will now be, can Manara deliver this? Now, that is what will take us to the next part of this training. And this one is going to be a bit of calculation. Now, if you hate numbers, it may look boring to you, but why it should not look boring to you is, I mean, some people don't like numbers, but when that numbers is carrying a currency behind it, it becomes interesting to them. I mean, I've seen a lot of people like grammars, even people who are illiterate. I mean, people who didn't go to school. I mean, so long there is a currency attached to a number, it becomes clear to them. I mean, if you're saying, hey, 200 plus 200, they may not know the answer. But if you say $200 plus $400, that's $400, of course. So let's make this interesting. We're going to be talking money this time around, and we're going to be using Manara, okay, guys? So to make that happen, I have to go to my Manara. But before I move to this phase, I hope you guys are following. If you're following, can you just put a 2 in the chat box if you're following all the while what I've been saying. If you're following, please put a 2 in the chat box. If you have been following this, put a 2 in the chat box. You know, for me, I always talk about, I have my prosperity plan. And you all should have your prosperity plan. Having a prosperity plan will help you and guide you such a way that, number one, you will be so delicate and disciplined at the same time. I mean, delicate, when I mean delicate, in the sense that whatever you do, be carefully thought out things. You won't be just be doing things anyhow. You'll be doing things along with calendar. I mean, you'll be carried away with many people that, hey, thank God it's Friday. I mean, people say that for 30 years and they are 30 already and they are nowhere. People say, it's my birthday, happy birthday. I mean, I'm not saying all those things are bad, but you know that you are doing a calendar. You have a plan, a prosperity plan, okay? And this is it. So if you're with me, put a 2 in the chat box. 2, 2, 2. All right, good. Yeah, awesome. All right, good. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. Imagination, yeah. I mean, imagination. I tell you guys, let me tell you a story. And I've told it before. Guys, the day you appreciate Forex is when you start making serious money. There was a day I was on a trade, and I know some people that were with us then. I mean, they are probably a witness to this testimony. Especially, if Manela is here, she will know. Coach Emma, I don't know if she's here. Some of you can ask her what I'm about to tell you. I was in a particular trade. That trade, the signal was sent by the academy, and I was on the other trade. It was so I started an account from, I think the account was around, started from 1,000. Okay, it was $1,200. I can't remember. So building the affiliates of this company gives you money to fund your account. So I think I funded that account with $1,000. So the account was around 1,200. Before you know it was 4,000, 5,000. To cut long story short, it was 9,000 at this point. I want to explain to you $9,000. So that time it was $9,000. I was on a trade, and that trade was minus $800, which means I was in red. Now that's not profit. There's at that time there was not like profit. I mean, I didn't know anything about profit personally. It has been there, but I never knew about it. So it was minus $800 in red around the night time. Guess what happened, guys? I left that trade like that. I was like, at least 800 out of 9,000 will not kill me. At least I'm budgeting 1,000 for this. Next morning I woke up, guys. Guess how much I saw? 23,500. No, 23,050. I can't remember. Yeah, $23,050 in profits. 23,000 in profits. Now, of course, I was naive then. I didn't know as much as I do now. So in the greed stuff, I was like, wow, I was so happy. I was shouting. I was like, yeah, I was calling everybody I could listen. I was like, I want to wait for this to get to $25,000. I mean, I was saying that to myself as if my father owns the market. As at that time, I never knew market is your enemy, So I was like looking at it. Right there in front of me, this same money was started going backward like 20, 22, 20. It was about 21,000 or so, 21,000 plus. Something in me told me that, well, let's take your money and run. So I took that money. As at that time, I think dollar was, I can't remember, maybe 400 plus or 430, I can't remember. But that money gave me 12 million naira. I changed that money, I changed it. I bought something significant with it. Actually bought land with it, actually. And every time I look at that land till date, I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's a profit from a particular trade, a single trade. So now that time was my naive time. I mean, that was naivety. I mean, if not, I took the over leveraged. That was why the money was like that. I was lucky that the profit went into the trade idea went into profits. I mean, could have gone the other way and blew the account. I was naive. I wasn't saying I'm not celebrating that moment. It was an ignorant moment actually, but the profits made sense. But that was not a good way to make profits because afterwards it affected me. I blew several accounts because I was doing the same thing again. But at least I made a good money. Now what am I saying? I'm trying to say that, like I saw someone say, possible is nothing. Yes, it's true with forex. I'm telling you, I can show you people who make 50K every day. I mean, I won't say every day because forex everything can't be the same every day. Things cannot be, but at least averagely. I mean, so let's go. Let's leave all that and go straight to Manara. Now, I want you to trust Manara for this project. Now, guys, before I go on, I want to make this disclaimer. No, that's not the right word for that. I think caveat emptor. That's it. Yeah, the legal guys in the house will know. This caveat, let me just put it like that. So, this week has been not really a good time for Manara. Good week for Manara. Not Manara generally for the market because it was the last week of the month. It's always like that. And also the week for the NFP. So there were a lot of losses and all that. Yet, let's see what happens with Manara, even in the bad times. And they said if you want to know a good thing, the best time to know it is when the bad times are around, isn't it? I mean, so let's do that. So what we want to do right now is we'll be reviewing all the trades that and I will need your help. Please, who's going to be committed to help me here? I will need someone that will be probably writing this down. I mean, the figures I'll be putting out down. Let me nominate. Or who's going to volunteer? Each figures will call because I don't need to go over it again. It's delay. Let me see. Damiola, are you there? Dami, are you there?
Yes, coach. I'm here.
All right, good. I was going to say that if I see your name, meaning you're there. So Zoom call is one of the easiest way to fool people when you're online. You could be online and be in the kitchen at the same time, not actually being here. But at least my name is there. They will think I'm online. All right, just joking. Now, so that means what you do for me is as soon as I give a figure or value, okay, you help me record it under loss or win, okay, and then we do the aggregate right there. So
Okay,
this may take a little time, but it will be worth it, guys. All right, guys. So it's gonna be long, guys. Just be patient with me. Monday was what date? What was Monday's date? Or better still, let's do it backwards. So that will make it easy. Today is September 1st. Let's start from today. Okay? Let's do it backwards. So I don't have to start from we'll just do it backward, right? Today is let me see how many trades came in today. So we want to analyze all the trades that came in from Manara today, the wins and the losses, and see whether it's a win day or it's a losing day. Okay, so September 1st. Okay, September 1st started from Euro GBP after the BTC USD trade. Okay, so when we get to Euro GBP after the gold USD, We know that we have ended today. I mean, that was where today started from. Okay. So we're going to start from, okay, so we're starting from Euro GBP upward. Okay. Euro GBP upward. This is it. This is it. So the first trade that came was Euro GBP today. Want to see if it was a win or a loss. Let's see it. All right. So this idea was for a buy. Okay. Now, I want you to write these tips down. These tips are very important. So when you are in Manara trades, guys, there are some things I want you to know today. Write this down because I mean these are not going to be, they are not in any manual. I'm talking based on my experience so far in trading. First thing you need to notice, sorry, or put always put in your mind. I mean, just let that be stuck there. Just be looking at it every time, if possible. Write it like a mantra.
Hey.
Is the market doesn't. Okay, the market doesn't belong to anyone. It belongs to the big institution. These guys, the banks, the insurance, the monk. Oh, I don't know, man. Keep saying this. Anyway, it's okay. Rudy, can you please mute yourself? Okay, I'll mute you, don't worry. Danny, also, I'll make you a co-host. So you have me mute when I don't have to be coming back and all that, right? So you become my co-host now.
Okay, coach.
All right. So when you see someone talking, go check who's person. I'm just mute that person. All right, guys. So the first thing is the market doesn't belong to you, it belongs to the big guys. It belongs to those with the $100 million, those with the big funds. Now we are retail traders, and the help of the broker is what helps us to be able to trade, right? So always trade knowing that in your mind. So that will help you know that you are not in your zone, you are not at home. Don't feel at home when you are in the market. Don't feel at home at all. Don't be comfortable like, oh, I'm relaxing. I mean, well, you can do that when you're already having an 100K account. But if you're still working on that, I mean, it's not your home. It's not a place for you to be familiar. Like it's not filled up with friends. Just see everything in the market as your enemy. See that you just want to go and take your things silently, take the one you need to take for the day and run out. Don't stay there. So saying that now, that is to say that some of you, when you are trading Manara, nothing is guaranteed in life, including our own life. I mean, I'm surprised sometimes when people are seeking perfection. Imagine someone that's been making money on Manara, on all the trade ideas, and the one particular trade, one trade gives loss. And Manara is messing up. Manara is a scam. I lose trade today. I mean, you check that person. Shines. The weather can never be the same. Weather always changes every now and then. Season changes. Everything is like that. Nothing is guaranteed. You could dress out or dress up for a rainy day, and then you go out there today, it becomes sunny. I mean, you could dress up for a sunny day, it becomes raining. I mean, tell me one thing that is guaranteed in this life. Nothing. So the same thing, trading is not guaranteed. Even if you have the perfect strategy, all we try to do is increasing our accuracy and increasing our probability of making money. But you can't be 100% guaranteed or sure. So what that means is, whenever you see profit, first thing I do is when you're trading Manara, I always target TP1. But then, in targeting my TP1, I want you to know this. The moment I see at least 5% of my targets, now this is where I said I was going to link it back to Prof Firm accounts. Listen to this part. The moment I see at least minimum, the moment I see at least minimum of 5% of your target. Now, what is that target? For example, let's say you have $1,000 account. Now, you have to be realistic here. Always have your trading plan. What is your trading plan? Always know how much you intend to make for that day. So let's say you say, okay, today I want to make 5% of my account. I want to take my account back up by 5%. I want to take my account up by 8%, but by 10%, whatever. So let's say you have $1,000 account or $100 account, and you want to take it up by 10%, meaning you want to make $10 today. That's your target. Now that doesn't mean you may not make more than that, but you always have your own target. But the market gives you more than that, you take it. Like today, I entered the trade, I kept moving the stop loss instead of me putting a TP. And the trade that we lost on gold, I re-entered. I announced it to you guys. I re-entered. I didn't stop until, in fact, as I speak with you, until it got to 1936. Can you imagine how many pips? Over 153 pips. And I was taking some profit. I left some, Now that happens. So you take, but always have your own fixed target in your mind. Now, if your target is 10% of your account, if you have $100 account, and you know that $100 means $10, if you are on a particular trade, the moment you have $5, that is 5% of your 10%. Secure that one. How? move your stop loss, or you close that trade and take it and leave. Now, you move your stop loss if you already know how that works, because I already taught you guys how to move stop loss. If you are new, the only thing you do, just close the trade and take that 5%, because another one will come. Okay? But the best thing is to move stop loss, because if the trade is going to give you 2 TP1 and TP2, why leave it? But if you cannot secure that, then do. So the problem I notice is some of us, like the person I told you who contacted me, said, okay, listen, let me tell you this. Do you know that this guy actually had a trade that he made $68 on it, but he left it there, looking at it, expecting to get to P1. Without even getting to P1, he already has $68. He was supposed to secure that one, and his target is $800. His entire target for the prop firm account is $800, because he bought a $10,000 account. Is 8% will be $800, and out of $800, you have $68. That is over how many percent? Because 1% of $800 is $8, right? 10% of that is $80. So you already have 7.5% of his total this in just one trade, not a deal, one trade. That's enough. If you go to the next trade, you could have 10% a day. So the moment you have 5%, listen to that, 5% of your own target, not your capital, the amount you intend to make by being realistic. Not that you say, I want to make 100% of my money in a day. No, that is gambling. Okay? So that is that. Please note what I've just told you. That's how to be profitable. Now, let me tell you one thing. Some of you say, hey, coach, at least I want to get the TP1. Who made that rule? Is there a rule book guiding you that you must make TP1? Now, let me tell you, when you become rich, is there a law that says that money will have a tag on it, TP1, TP2, before you spend it? No. The idea is to make profit. Profitable, that's what it is. Make sure you're in blue, that's what it is. I can show you my account. There are sometimes I'll make 10% on the trade. Like last week, okay, I was telling this, I showed the guy, last week I was having 800. I was having, there's an account, I have this account, I had $400, so $500, so 300, I can't remember. But to cut the long story short, last week, Monday, by the end of that Friday, it was already 1,200. And if you check the profits, they are long profits, but all of them are 30, 40, 20, 10, 50, 40, like that, but long list in a day. Because I believe in securing your profits. I've taught you guys before, the BE plus, and BE plus plus. If you don't use all these things, you keep having problems. And there's nothing I can do, because I mean, this your responsibility with your phone. You are the one in charge of these ones. I mean, I can't control those ones. I can only tell you, right? So back to our business, guys. So as you can see, the first trade of the day was a win. Now, what we consider a win during our review is any trade idea that gets to TP1, okay, that gets to TP1, or just if you look at this one, I think it's just 1 pip away from TP1, 1 pip away from TP1. So this one we consider a win. Started from the D, and then it came to this. Okay, this is TP1. TP1 is supposed to be what? TP1 is supposed to be 24 pips, and this got to 20. In fact, it's 24, 24. The 8 is so the last number is negligible. I mean, it's something you don't consider. You only focus on the first 2 digits. You understand what I'm saying now? When you see any number, you focus on this one, the first 2 digits. I mean, not that, don't let me say that, because in case of 100 pips and above, always ignore the last number. The last number doesn't matter. Minus the last number, whatever number you have there is your pips. So look at this trade, gave 24 pips, right? So the first one I'll consider a win. Now, the second trade idea. Let's talk about the second trade idea now. Now, okay, before I go on, I said, what are the things we consider a win? Number one, if a trade idea is already at TP1, or maybe like 1 pip away. This one is not even up to 1 pip away. It's like almost there. I mean, most of you would have closed this trade if you are targeting number one. Even if you don't close it, at least moving your stop loss will have secured at least 20 pips for you, isn't it? Now, so that's the kind of trade you count as win, or the one that hits TP1 and TP2, or the one that is in profit, is not even there at TP1 already, but it is in profit over 20 pips. You understand? And the market is closing that day without profit, without reversing. You count it as a win. Okay? The ones you don't count as win is the one that didn't get a TP and that goes straight to stop loss. That is not a win, even if it's a win using the stop loss method, right? But we're not counting it for review. Okay? We're not counting it for review. So that's how. So we count it as a win. So Dami, you got 24 pips, right?
Done that.
Dami,
Yes,
hope
yes,
you're
yes.
there, right? Now the next one that came was gold USD for a sell. Gold USD for a sell. Let's see if it was a loss or a win. Okay, let's see that. Okay, it moves from the entry. Now, so this kind of trade now, wow, Manara is awesome. Can you imagine? So meaning if you guys have followed Manara, so you won't be losing anything at all because Manara gave entry and the SL was 19. Manara gave the entry from 62, but he took off. Oh my God. So meaning, guys, you know what just happened? Manara prepared for NFP. See what Manara did. Manara gave this entry, okay, as 1962. Manara knew that the price could come to 1962 for whatever reason. I don't know how Manara knew that. I mean, well, Manara is a she, so she can be a witch. All right. So now, so the thing is, the market, Manara predicted 1962 to 1953. Was it 1953 to 1950? Sorry, 1952. That the market could come to any part of this. So meaning, if you had set your pending orders, I'm going to show you another way again to enjoy Manara, okay? In case you miss out, I mean, some of you missing out from all this kind of thing. If you have set your pending orders, it will have come there to activate you. And instead of losing, you'll be one of those that will profit. Imagine he came to take the trade from here, and what happens after that? Let's see what happens. This one now you count it as a win. Do you know why? Because the market has closed on this one. It's closing with profit. So if you were on this trade, I would have first you would have known that you close this trade because it's Friday. If you don't close it, the market will close with your profit, and it's going to be on Monday. So I mean, common sense says you take it, guys. Look at what happened. 179 pips. Please write it down. Now you'll be wondering how come gold is having 5 digits and all that. Now for gold, the last two numbers are irrelevant, not last one number. But for other currencies, last one number. But only for gold, last two numbers. Any last two numbers you see irrelevant. Count the remaining number minus the last two numbers. So what we have here is 179 pips. Can you write it down? Imagine. Guys, do you see that? When I was talking about 100 pips a day, I was realistic, right? Okay. So Manara gave 179 pips here. So I mean, who would even wait for more when you have 179 pips? All right. Let's go to the next one after that. Manara gave USD card. I need the one that is a loss. There's a reason for that. I need one that is oh thank God. USD card is a loss. Is it? Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's a loss. Yeah. Now look at this one is a loss, right? It was a loss, right? So meaning if you are taking this, do you know why I need one that is a loss? So you know that yes, you can lose too. Don't be thinking I'm Manara. I mean, you just want me to make money, to make profit all the way. I mean, there's loss, but at the end of the day, you must be in profit. You must be, your account must move forward, not backward. Now, look at the good thing about Manara. Do you see why I said I prefer Manara for you to use for your account or prop firm? This is a loss, right? So you add its USD card, 12.8. The loss is 12.8. So in other words, it's 12, or you can use aggregate 13. Just give them the 2.2. You know, I told you that the last number doesn't matter because the last number, one number, I mean, for four currencies, the last one number is is like a number after decimal. While for gold, the last two numbers are the numbers after decimal. So this one now, the whole number there is 12. So if you're going to count it, say 12 pips, that 8 is called pipette. Pipette are not counted when it comes to forex. Okay, but just put it there for the record. Have you done that? Have you done that?
Yes, coach.
All right, good. After that, Manara said GBP JPY. GBP JPY. Okay, it was for a buy, and I guess it hits TP1. As you can see, did it? Okay, missed it by small pips, but it's still in profit. So, and it's Friday. You remember, I told you that because it's already closing with profit. So what happens? This trade went close to the TP, got to this place, and later came down here. So I'll be using this part where it is now. This is where it is now, guys. I mean, it got to 84. If I were to count it, I would have said 84, but this is where it is now. So this kind of trade, you can't say it's a loss. You understand? Because it's in profit as we speak, but the market is closing. So you would have closed this before. Don't always leave your your trade to the market closes. No, it's not good. So whatever, in fact, as a matter of fact, I always advise people don't take trade anything after 4 p.m. Yeah. So this is a profit. So you add it 66 pips. It's 66.5, but like I told you, 0.5 doesn't matter, except it does when you want to add everything together. Done?
Yes, coach.
No. All right. After that, the next one I was sent today by Manara was GBP CHF. Now, for those of you always, you always complain when Manara is not sending trades. Manara has not sent trades today. Why is Manara sending just few trades? I mean, come on. Manara only sends trades when the market gets to the entry price and it matches the strategy. I've said that several times. So today, now that you are seeing plenty trades, nobody's complaining, right? So this one also, it's Friday, right? So all these markets will not get to their target before they close, but they didn't close in loss. So you add it, because if they are closed in loss, we'll add it as well. Do you get? If this one has closed in loss, even without getting to the stop loss, if it has closed here, we'll add it minus. You understand? So, but here it's closing in profit. So, which means a smart person would have taken this profit before anything. This is 13 pips. Okay, write it, 13 pips. GBP CHF. Euro CHF was sent as well. So the Euro CHF was a loss, though it's not at stop loss yet, but like we use the same method for win. We use the same because right now is in minus. Okay, it has gone below the entry. So let's calculate the minus and add it to the losses. So the minus is here. Can you imagine 3 pips? Can you write it for them? Write it on the losers area. 3 pips. Euro CHF.
Done.
Done. Assuming you enter this trade right now, you'll be in loss, of course. So that's why we have to be realistic, right? So that is the end of all the trades for today. Okay. Now, can you put all the figures on win together, all the figures on losses together, and what do we have as aggregate for Friday? The time is fast spent, guys. I think we should just do this Friday and then the rest.
22 pips.
What do you have? What do you have for win?
22 pips.
The win, 22 pips.
282.
Wow. Guys, I mean, wait, let me get what you've just done. You added
24.
all the profits.
Yes, 24 plus 179 plus 66 plus 13.
22. What about the loss? Add all the losses together. What do you have?
Maybe it's just one loss. It's 3 now.
3? I thought there was one loss we saw. There was another loss. I can remember 12 point something, 12.8. You didn't write it. 12.8. I remember that one. There was 12.8 loss on USD card. Yes, I remember. Thank God for this brain. It's still sharp. All right. So add it, please. 12 points. That's 12.8 and 3. That's like 15 pips. There about, let's say 16. Right? Am I correct? Am I correct?
Yes, you are 16 pips.
So, guys, you do know what this means? Assuming you trust Manara, you take every notification that is sent to your Telegram based on the settings that I recommend, okay, from Manara. You would have those few losses just like Manara did, and you will have these wins just like Manara did. Imagine you are ending your day today with 266 pips. Assuming you are having $100 in your account, how much would you have made right now? Let's use that. 266, remember the figure, right? So for $100, remember I said using 0.04, for example. That means 40 cents multiplied by 10. That means 40 cents per pips. Multiplied by 266. That means you would have ended your day with 106%, which means your day would have ended with your account that was $100, your capital in $206. You would have been shouting, thank God it's Friday right now. Probably you'll not be at home safe as we speak. I mean, just saying, $206.40, assuming you use Manara. For the time's sake, yeah. Okay, guys, I want a vote for this. Please, I want a vote. Please, should we look for a very bad day? I mean, this is a good day, right? This was a good day. Should we look for a very bad day and still review another day like Monday, or we should just go to the next thing? I mean, are you guys convinced now, or we should look for a very bad day? I mean, because worst case scenario to see whether Manara still succeeds. Please, I want you to put a vote. So 1, if you want us to do that. 2, if you don't. 1, if you want us to check another one. 2, if you don't. I mean, if you're okay, 1. If you are not, 2. If you're okay with this one, 1. If you're not, 2. Can you just, I want to see the votes. So please, 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 I want to see that. Oh my God, no one is saying anything. Can you guys hear me? Okay, we have 1, 2, we have 1. I mean, what about the rest? We only have, this is a tie, I mean, it's a tie, what do you call it? Yeah, it's tied votes. No one is, man, come on, man. Can you guys hear me at all? 1, okay, 1. Okay, okay, only 2, 1, 2, okay, so meaning the one has it. Okay, all right, I can even tell you let me tell you, the bad day was on Monday. Why was it a bad day? I can tell you by my mouth with it, just I can remember. It was a bad, and when I say a bad day, I'll say a bad day because the number of losses were way more than the number of wins. But at the end of the day, when we added all the losses together and we added all the wins together and we did the aggregate, there was still profit of 89 pips at the end of the day. 89 pips, which means it wasn't a loss after all, which means at the end of the day, you ended up with 89 pips, which means if you are using $100 on that day, if you use $100 on that day, after removing all the losses, then later now getting that, what's it called? After removing all the losses, you still be left with 89 pips. So if your money was $100, using the 0.04, for example, 4 positions, right? 89 pips times 10, you would have still ended the day with $35 on your $100. That was the worst day on Monday. So Manara it is, right? Now, there's something I wanted to tell you. I wanted to round up this training with. What was that? Okay, let's just do Q&A. If you have a question, please right now. I have 2 minutes for that. Question, please. Question, your question. While you're thinking about your question, please make sure you get the settings right. Okay? Make sure you get the settings right. If you don't, meet your mentor, meet the one who brought you in, and then they'll point out the videos where we do the settings and all that. Yeah. Questions. In the absence of no question, guys, we're gonna be ending this training right now. It's nice having time with you guys. Now you can see that having a prop firm, I mean, this Manara review is just to prove to you that imagine you have a prop firm account, you would have you'd have done your target today, so with that amount of, wow, Manara gave that gold trade idea. Can you imagine? Guys, we have more than gold, okay? I mean, so that's it. So good night. Have a great night. I mean, I don't know, depending on the time zone where you are, just top of the hour to you. Bye. Okay, you have a question? So I appreciate you. Thank you very much. God bless you. You are fantastic too. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right. Night, guys. Bye. Yeah. Bye.